Hey guys, this is Ambika, Master Teacher of Biology at Vedantu. Now in today's video, I'm going to be telling you about a few things that you must avoid while you study. No, I'm not going to talk to you just about distractions. Of course, distractions also are a thing that you must certainly avoid while you study, but much more than that, I'm going to be telling you a list of don'ts, okay, like those do's and don'ts, a list of those don'ts, a list of 10 don'ts that you must follow for any study session so that in general your study skills will be sharpened. Okay, the very first thing that I want to tell you is don't try to be perfect. Okay, so trying to be perfect is something that will waste a lot of time unnecessarily. From personal experience, for me, not just as a student, even today, I know there are times when I unnecessarily end up focusing on perfection and end up not completing the task on time. So what we have to focus on is only progress and not perfection. Okay, now secondly, of course, all kinds of distractions, social media, your mobile phones, everything completely off, especially now that it's exam season. Certainly stay off from all these. But if you want more tips on how you can avoid those distractions, do go back to my video on how you can avoid distractions and have a look at them. Those will give you some important tips on how you can stay away from them. Now, point number 3, copying another person's study strategies. This is very, very, very important because as students, many times, even I remember in my students' life also, there was a time when a lot of students would discuss with each other, a lot of us would discuss with each other about how the other one would study. Do you take notes? Do you like write and study, or do you just read and study? Whatever it is, it doesn't help at all. All it does to you is, I would say, increase your stress levels. So stay away from such discussions. You are your own best judge. You know how you can study best. Okay, your strengths and weaknesses cannot be judged by anyone else. Of course, you must be around 14-15 years of age now, so you would be smart enough to identify what you are capable of, and what works for you will definitely not work for another person, and the other way around. Okay, so do not copy another person's strategies. This also applies to the time that you would use for your study sessions. You may be a morning person while another person may be a night owl. So that is another thing that you have to keep in mind while I say do not follow another person's strategies. Point number 4, last minute cramming. I have gone through this so many times in my students' life. Of course, it's a very wrong thing to have done, but fortunately, I was lucky enough not to have had much of a negative experience because of that. I mean, in terms of marks, but of course, in terms of the level of stress that I have gone through during such times, I mean, I must certainly tell you, it's not worth it at all. So what can you do to avoid last minute cramming? Planning out everything right now, planning everything well in advance, planning out a daily routine and setting your brain to be active at a certain time of the day when you can focus best. Okay, so avoid last minute cramming. Next one, avoiding sleep is something that a mistake many students commit. So do not avoid sleep, because sleep is often underestimated, especially in our country, in a lot of Asian countries, especially in India, I would say, because scientifically it's been proven that sleep is actually the time of the day that will bring a lot of nourishment and rest to your brain so that it can remember and retain whatever you have studied through the day, and it will help you face your battles in a much better manner the very next day. So your quality of sleep, duration of sleep, everything matters. Okay, so take care of that. Point number 6 is multitasking. Now, I think I've told you this before in one of my sessions. What do I mean by this? There can be times when we may be tempted to sit in front of the television or sit in front of a YouTube video and just keep doing our school homework. But it doesn't work well, to be very honest, because multitasking means that your brain is basically trying and working extra hard to focus on two different or multiple things at a time, and that ends up deteriorating the quality of your work. So focus only on one thing at a time. Okay, the next thing, point number 7 that I have to tell you is avoid caffeine addiction. This is also something that during the student's life, many children get addicted to because they want to stay awake during the day, they want to stay awake in the night. So they just find the solution to be drinking a lot of cups of coffee, drinking a lot of tea, just so that they can utilize those extra minutes to study. But that is a very bad option. Do not drink more than 3 cups of tea or coffee in a day. 3 itself is actually a lot. Ideally, it shouldn't be more than 2 cups in a day. And definitely do not go in for a caffeine based drink after 6 p.m. because that affects the quality of your sleep through the night. Point number 8, avoid junk food. Now, especially as teenagers, adults also these days do get addicted to junk food quite easily because it's very easily available. It's very convenient. You don't have to do anything. Just go pay $5, $10, grab a packet of junk food, and you can sit and eat wherever you are, and you feel full also. While it may serve as a temporary solution to hunger, at times it's all right, but if it becomes a habit, it can deteriorate the quality of your digestion, and that way it can deteriorate your entire health and the way your brain thinks and performs also. So caffeine addiction and junk food addiction are things that you definitely must strictly avoid. Point number 9 is memorizing. Now, what do I mean by this? Especially, you may ask me, ma'am, you're a biology teacher and you're saying memorizing is not good. Well, I'm not exactly saying memorizing is not good. Memorizing is definitely needed because across subjects, across grades, you have a lot of terms, you have a lot of theories and formulae, and a lot of concepts that must be memorized. But strongly, I would tell you, pure memorization doesn't work at all. Even for everything that you memorize, you must make sure that there is some kind of logic associated with it, and then you convert it into memory. Now, I have spoken a little more about these details in my previous video on smart study techniques and how to memorize without forgetting. So do go ahead and have a look at those also. Okay, and the final tip that I want to tell you is, do not be a disorganized person. In whatever sense, any sense for that matter, it can be something as simple as keeping your study area or your school bag clutter free. Because indirectly, having a cluttered study space, having a cluttered school bag, having too many files and documents on your laptop, on your computer, on your mobile phone, which are not organized into proper places or folders, can add to a lot of unnecessary tension. So have a proper place for everything. Get rid of everything from your mind and physically from your study space. Get rid of everything that you do not require, and make sure you have everything in a place that you can properly access very, very quickly. Okay, so that's about it from my side for today. These 10 don'ts or these 10 things that you must avoid while studying will certainly help you sharpen your study skills. And until we meet again, this is Ambika signing off. Bye bye.